Hey yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, my peoples? Hey yo, welcome back to my channel, The X Productions. I'm Bizone, the unknown producer, and we back, son. Yo, today we got another reaction and Serato studio beat flip. Alright? I'm gonna keep it going with them, you know what I'm saying? It's fun. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. But before we get into it, you know what you got to do. You got to hit that like button, you got to hit that subscribe button, and you got to hit that push notification so you know when my shit drops. All right, son? Today I got a good album to delve into today. Criminal Minded by Boogie Down Productions. Criminal Minded dropped in 1987 off of B-Boy Records, son. And I believe, I'm not going to say it was the first gangster album, but it's up there. It definitely could be considered it's definitely considered one of the first gangster hip hop albums. All right, and I know you're saying like KRS One gangster hip hop. Yes, KRS One's first album was gangster. Yo, if you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself because it's definitely considered one of the first gangster rap albums. Listen to one of the songs of Criminal Minded, and we're gonna break it down, production wise, lyric wise, that time period, the style and everything. KRS One himself, Scott LaRock, you know. So I already picked out a song. The song is called Poetry, and it's one of my favorite songs off the album.
Classes in session so you can stop guessing if this is a gift or a written down memo. See, I am a professional. This is not a demo. In fact, call it a lecture, a visual picture, sort of a poetic in rhythm like mixture. Listen, I'm not dissing, but there's something that you're missing. Maybe you should touch reality. Stop wishing for beats with plenty bass and lyrics set in haste. If its meaning doesn't manifest, put it to rest. I am a poet. You try to show it, yet blow it. It takes concentration for fresh communication, observation. That is to see without speaking. Take off your coat, take notes. I am teaching a class, or rather school, cause you need schooling. I am not a king or queen, I'm not ruling. This is an introduction to poetry, a small dedication to those that might know of me, they might know of you, and maybe your gang, but one thing's for sure, neither one of y'all can hang, cause yo, I'm like an arrow, and Scott is the crossbow. Say something now. Thought so. You seem to be the type that only understand the annihilation and destruction of the next man. That's not poetry, that is insanity. It's simply fantasy, far from reality. Poetry is the language of imagination. Poetry is a form of positive creation. Difficult, isn't it? The point? You're missing it. Your face is in front of my hand, so I'm dissing it.
First of all, I just had to pause it. Um, Scott LaRock shines on this track. That's one thing about songs during this era, the '80s era, especially the early '80s. A lot of songs. Okay, let me rephrase that. A lot of groups or soloists had their DJ have their time on songs. It wasn't just a showcase of lyrics and rapping and MCing. It was also highlighted by the DJ. You know, scratching, you know what I mean? Scratching throughout the records, you know what I mean? And the MC always gave their DJ light, you know. They always called them out there, mentioned them. The thing I liked about songs back then is the DJ scratching over the track. I love that. You know what I mean? That's why Public Enemy is one of my favorite groups when it comes down to production because they have a lot of scratching on Terminator X scratched a lot over tracks. As you can see in this song, Scott LaRock, he's tearing it up with the scratches. You know what I mean? And I think one of the elements I got to take if I do poetry because Scott LaRock scratched so much over the track, I have to incorporate some scratching over the track when I redo it. And the bass line is banging to me, you know, boom, 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 boom. So that bass line, I think I probably still incorporate that bass line to give that to make it familiar and recognizable still as poetry. Because that bass line, when you hear that bass line, everyone knows, oh, that's poetry. Us carriers one poetry. So far those are two elements I know I'm gonna use in the beat flip of this song, poetry. All right, I'm gonna rewind just a little bit and we'll keep it going.
Difficult, isn't it? The point you're missing it. Your face is in front of my hand, so I'm kissing it. Drop, but not like all the others. They just cover while I just smother every single stupid mother. Wait, brother.
That was real clean. That was real clean. The beat may drop, but not like all the others. That was real clean. Let me rewind that.
Innovating, decorating, the beat may drop, but not like all the others. They just cover while I just smother
Like
every
that.
single stupid mother. Wait, brother. KRS-One will have to show another MC or self-proclaimed king or queen or gang or crew or solo or team that I mean business. So tell me, what is this? See, I come from the Bronx, so just kiss this. Boogie Down Productions is someone's an experiment. The antidote for sucker MCs and they're fearing it. It's self-explanatory, no one writing for me. The poetry I'm rattling is really not for battling. But if you want, I will simply change the program. So when I'm done, you will simply say, damn. So this conversation is somewhat hypothetical. Boogie Down Productions attempts to prove something. I say hypothetical because it's only theory, my theory. So take a minute now to hear me. So what's the problem? It seems you wanna be KRS-2. From my point of view, backtrack, stop the attack. Cause KRS-One means simply one KRS. That's it, that's all, solo, single, no more, no less. I built up my credential financially and mental. Anytime I rhyme,
That's my favorite drop. That's my favorite drop of the whole song. Because KRS-One means only one KRS. That's it. That's all. Solo, single, no more, no less. Boom, 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 boom. I'm liking these. I'm seeing a vision right now. I'm seeing a vision. Seeing the vision. You know, KRS-One is one of the best lyricists ever. A real MC. And I know you're saying like, dude, what is he rhyming about? Think about it. What is he really rhyming about? What is he saying to you? What are you hearing? I'm, I want to tell you, but I want you to listen to the lyrics he's saying. When he's saying poetry, what does he mean? Think about it. Think about it. I'm rewinding just a little bit, okay?
queen or gang or crew or solo or team that I mean business. So tell me, what is this? See, I come from the Bronx, so just kiss this. Boogie Down Productions is someone's an experiment. The antidote for sucker MCs and they're fearing it. It's self-explanatory, no one's writing for me. The poetry I'm rattling is really not for battling. But if you want, I will simply change the program. So when I'm done, you will simply say, damn. So this conversation is somewhat hypothetical. Boogie Down Productions attempts to prove something. I say hypothetical because it's only theory, my theory. So take a minute now to hear me. So what's the problem? It seems you wanna be KRS-2. From my point of view, backtrack, stop the attack. Cause KRS-One means simply one KRS. That's it, that's all, solo, single, no more, no less. I built up my credential financially and mental. Anytime I rhyme, I request the instrumental. I speak clearly, and that's merely, or should I say a mere, help to my career. I'm really not into fashion or craze, just the one who pays and how soon I get a raise. You're probably in a daze, acting out of sympathy. Wrote a couple of rhymes and think that you can get with me. But what a pity, I'm rocking New York City, and everywhere else you put the jams on the shelf. You as an amateur, it's outspoken. I'm looking at the face, you seem to be hoping that I might stutter, stop, or just mess up. But everything's live, that's why I don't dress up. Blast Master KRS, a synonym for fresh. I'm the teacher of the class. I do not pass no test. Got DJ Scott Rock by my side, not in back of me, cause we make up the boogie down production crew. Faculty, get it right. But train yourself not to bite, cause when you bite, you have bitten. When I hear it, that's it. I do not contemplate a battle, cause it really ain't worth it. I'd rather point a pistol at your head and try to burst it. I'm teaching poetry.
Yo, I love that line. He says, I have Scott LaRock by the side, not in back of me, because we make up the Boogie Down production faculty. I love that, man. It was like back then, that's how it was. The DJ wasn't, the DJ played in back of you. You know, that's how the DJ was in back of the MC, but he flipped it and said, on the side of me, because we're one. We're Boogie Down Productions. You're not just, I'm just not just MC and you're a DJ. You know what I'm saying? We're one. You know what I mean? All right.
I'm teaching poetry.
I'm teaching poetry.
We're teaching poetry.
Trash to kill. Yo, that was Poetry by KRS One off the Criminal Minded album. Boogie Down Productions did back in 1987, and they was on B-Boy Records. All right. He made a song, Poetry, for this meaning. I'm gonna read you the definition of poetry, and it'll come to you if you don't know. Because we think poetry, we just think like, oh, poems. He's saying, you know, some type of poetry. But this is what poetry means in a literal sense. All right. I'm gonna read it to you. Poetry is a form of literary art that uses language to evoke emotions and ideas through various techniques like rhythm, imagery, and figurative language. Did you hear that? I'm gonna read to you again. Read to you again. Poetry is a form of literary art. Literary. Literary mean written, documented, literary. You know, you write something down, you know, you for you to read, and that uses language, the voice, your vocals, emceeing, to evoke emotions, you know, make you feel something when you hear a song, when you're like, oh shit, you know, it's hip hop. And ideas, hip hop, through various techniques like rhythm, imagery, and figurative language, hip hop. So you know why he called this, so you know why he did a song on poetry? Because hip hop is poetry. This is the definition of hip hop right here, which is poetry. It's crazy. All right, I'm just gonna read one more part. One more part. It often employs condensed or compressed language, relying on musical and visual qualities to create meaning beyond literal interpretation. Let me read it one more time. It often employs condensed or compressed language, relying on musical and visual qualities to create meaning beyond literal interpretation. Hip hop. All right. So yo, so what we gonna do now? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna like pull out some samples from here, do a little, you know, do what I do, you know, pull up my Serato studio, do a little something, fix it up, and I'm gonna give you a modern day version of poetry. Something I think KRS One would kill. You know what I'm saying? All right, be right back. And I chopped up a couple samples that I want to use. Um, First thing I thought was the Scott LaRock scratching over the track was one of my favorite things. So I had to, you know, incorporate some of those scratches in it. You know, something like this.
I'm teaching poetry. I'm teaching poetry.
That's one of them I took right there. And here's another one right here. Hold on, my fault.
I'm teaching poetry.
You know, I doubled that up. I made two versions of that. I duplicated, made two versions. I'm going to use one of them in the chorus, and I'm going to use one of them throughout the track. And I took another sample. Well, actually, this is a sample right here, and I took this off of it also.
Drop but not like all the others.
I took a couple KRS-One vocals that I'm gonna throw in there. Use for the chorus that I use for the chorus.
Drop but not like all the others.
Had to take that. I love that because like I told you, that was clean. It was really really clean. And I also took these vocals right here and mixed them up. A little something. Okay.
1 KRS, that's it, that's all solo, single, no one, no one. 1 KRS, solo, single, no one, no left. KRS1, me. 1 KRS, that's it, that's all solo, single, no one, no left. Solo, single, no one, no west. KRS1, me simply 1 KRS, that.
Okay, I took that little sample and chopped it up. All right. Now, I had to make a drum beat. So what I did was I just pretty much redid the basic drum beat of poetry. And remember I told you how much I liked that boom 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 that heavy bass 808, you know. So I redid that too. Didn't want to add too much to it. Kept it at a low level. Uh, okay. And then I took and I felt it was pretty empty if I would have just had those elements like the original. But to really, really get it modern, I had to throw a little um some type of melodic sample or melodic sound over it. So I chose this right here. And it took me a minute. I found something and I just chopped it up, you know, reverbed it, threw a couple plugins on it to, get it to the point where I wanted. And what I'm gonna do now is I kind of sequenced it out, everything. Did a quick little mix. So this is what I came up for my flip of the song Poetry by KRS-One off this album Criminal Minded.
Drop but not like all the others.
Wait a minute. I gotta fix that up right there real quick. Just that last part right there. Okay. Hit that save button. Always hit that save button, man. Because I have some instances where my shit froze and I had to just restart it, and I didn't capture things because I didn't hit that save button after each change I made. But play that outro again.
KRS-One, one KRS, that's it. KRS-One, I catch 'em solo, single, low on the west. KRS-One, one KRS, that's it. KRS-One, I catch 'em drop button out like all the others. KRS-One, one KRS, that's it. KRS-One, solo, single, low on the west.
That's it. So what y'all think? I just made it a little more modern, gave it a little groove over it. So, tell me if you like it. If you don't like it, whatever, leave something in the comments. All right. Remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that push notifications. And thank you for hitting up the den. All right. The den of darkness. Nah. All right, man. Yo, thank you for coming to my show, The X Productions. I'm Bizzo, the unknown producer, and I'll be back with more soon. All right. One.
The X Production.